Guyanese are hopping mad over the incident which occurred over the weekend in which 20-month-old Aiden Kirtpaul of Mahaika, East Coast was tragically crushed to death by a reversing vehicle on Saturday. Hours later, a similar incident occurred, leaving an 18-month-old Adina Ramkisoon of Riseless, East Coast in critical condition. In both traumatizing incidents, the toddler's own fathers drove the vehicles. Against that backdrop, the National Road Safety Council is sounding a call for the adults behind the wheels of the two vehicles to be held accountable for the unfortunate incidents. Road Safety Co-ordinator Ramona Doorgen is adamant that although the incidents are traumatic, far too often the designated caregivers are not held accountable in these situations.
Children are being killed and they are being maimed and nobody is being held accountable. We are calling on the authorities. We're not asking them to put these parents in prison and lost them away. No, we're asking them to charge them, give them some kind of counseling.
Highlighting the guilt and emotional trauma that must exist in such cases, Doorgen noted that both parents should be offered urgent counseling. The coordinator empathized with the families but was firm in her stance that while the relatives of Kirtpaul and Adina Ramkisoon cannot be prematurely dubbed entirely careless or reckless, there must be accountability for the children's blood which were shed.
You are the guardians. You were here to take care of these kids. And when you're going to tell me an 18-month-old child and a 2-year-old child or even a 3-year-old child, it gets me really angry. And it raises back every angle from the Kiara Benjamin story.
She reminded drivers, especially those with young children, to properly inspect all areas surrounding their vehicles before driving off.
Every morning as drivers, you come to go and use your vehicle. Common sense, you're supposed to walk around your vehicle to see if your vehicle wheel flat. If your vehicle wheel flat or if there's anything under the wheel that you're going to mash when you're driving out. Much as to know that you ain't even seen a child under there.
According to investigations, the father of 18-month-old Adina Ramkisoon, Danny Ramkisoon, who operates a taxi service from his Riseless home, was about to leave home on a taxi hire when he reportedly felt as though his vehicle ran over something. Meanwhile, 20-month-old Kirtpaul's father was reportedly slowly navigating the motor lorry out of his yard when he looked out his rear view mirror and saw something between the lorry's wheel. He immediately stopped and disembarked and discovered his son lying motionless and his head crushed. Doorgen called on government to enforce the certification of heavy-duty machinery, which would make it mandatory for operators of such to have a porter.
The father that took that had the child on between the wheel, he would have had his porter there because before he leave the yard, one of the safety methods is a porter should be a porter should be assigned to a canter, especially for reversing purposes, because there's no way a canter can see all the sides.
For the HTP Nightly News, I'm Amel Griffith.